Hi there guys, this is Laura from the Artisan Studio. Today I am doing a YouTube reading for Amethyst. Amethyst's question was, she was wondering how the work that she's doing now for Mary Ellen and Tom is fitting to her desire for financial security and fulfilling work now and in the future. So, I'm going to be doing a spread here. It'll be a Celtic cross, and I'll also be doing a separate little spread, more honing in on the financial area of security. So I'm going to be using today the Indigo Angel cards. This will be just as a additional card with the reading, and I'll also be using the Thoth deck. That will be the main deck. I did an intuitive reading as well, so with that, I'm still pretty new at it, but I really enjoy using it with the readings because I find it just really adds a nice extra bit to it. So, for this, I will go through everything that I kind of saw. I see images and I also hear different sentences. So I'll go through everything I saw and I'll give you kind of my little bits of possible interpretations. Yeah. And then we'll go on to the actual tarot reading. So the first thing I heard was a person saying to another person, basically, it was a mistake. I don't usually make that mistake. And the person was kind of a little bit panicky, but just kind of like almost kind of down on themselves, the fact that they made that mistake. So I'm not sure if maybe perhaps this was a situation that you were in at work that you were kind of worried about from making this kind of mistake. But it sounded like perhaps it was maybe something at work that you just kind of maybe kind of were feeling down about, perhaps. Now, I also had a vision, like it was kind of like more of a visual. It was a young woman. She had like kind of long auburn hair, and she was just like kind of in a park setting, very carefree kind of personality, and she was holding like a fall leaf, like a leaf that had fallen, and it was kind of like that time of the season, fall. And she was just kind of holding a tree on one arm, kind of swinging, and she just kind of like threw the leaf ahead, being very carefree and playful and laissez-faire. So I don't know, this might be kind of a either a message for you to maybe just to relax, or it could be showing kind of your personality, that you're a very relaxed type of personality, very playful, and kind of enjoy just kind of being very carefree. So it might be something to just kind of tune into those energies, especially being right after the previous sentence that I was telling you about, kind of being worried about a particular mistake, that maybe just bringing in those energies of just kind of relaxing and not worrying so much about the situation, and bring some more of that playful, carefree energy into your life. I saw a smaller living quarters, so now it looked like kind of like a bit of an apartment. It just showed me like kind of a living room area. It was very small. Basically all that could fit in for a couch was like a love seat. And the colors were really rich kind of colors, oranges and reds, and like it was like an orangey red, like kind of those really nice warm, kind of homey kind of colors. And they were like really rich in color. So I don't know, this could have been a visual of what your maybe apartment or home is like, that is kind of a smaller living quarters, and maybe going into that financial security, you're kind of not sure if it's, if you're either going to have to be pushed into these smaller living quarters, or that, that you're living in them right now, and basically you want to kind of, you know, grow and move into some larger living area. Now, I also saw a woman, and this was just for a brief moment. She was kind of like a longer, like leaner kind of woman, like not super long, but you know, she wasn't obese or anything. She was just like natural, very normal in her state. She had glasses on, kind of an oval type shape, hair. She kind of had a perm, like not a really tight perm, but it was a little bit more like a body perm. It was just nice and loose, but shorter hair with that bit of wave in it, where it kind of was like rounder in shape. And she was just kind of, she had glasses, I'm not sure if I made mention of that, and her hair, I noticed that it was kind of like a nice, ready, like kind of like the brown in this deck here. And a bit of like a blondie gray kind of streaks in it. And yeah, she was just kind of in a kitchen setting, and she just looked at me and she just started smiling. So I'm not sure if maybe you have maybe a relative or someone who's passed on who might have just been there during that meditation that just wanted to say hello. But yeah, she was kind of an older lady, maybe in her 70s or like late 60s, 70s. I would say 70s, yeah. So yeah, she was kind of an older lady, but very nice. Yeah, she just had a very kind, warm-hearted persona to her. Now, I also saw, again, it was in those reddy kind of tones, but it was more of like a multicolor type thing, and it was just two pairs of hands, and they were striped with different colors, so I thought that was really interesting. I've never had that visual before, so part of me was kind of thinking, you know, almost like stripes on a tree, you know, counting the rings, so almost like saying that you're kind of like an old soul, someone who's, you know, had many lifetimes. Also, with all the color and the vibrancy in the colors, I was kind of thinking more of the message of you might be very artistic. I'm not sure if you know that yet, or if you know that, but maybe perhaps it might be saying to try and put some of those creative energies to use as a de-stressor. Yeah, and I just kind of got a well-rounded kind of feel that you've lived many lives, and you've kind of got a lot of wisdom behind you, which really kind of ties into owl eyes, which I saw right after that. And it was just owl eyes, but I looked up in one of my books. It's called The Animals Speak by Ted Andrews, and it's a book on totem animals. And the owl eyes symbolize like a silent wisdom and visions, being a human lie detector. So that definitely plays into that old soul mentality as well. And yeah, really having that sense about you that you can really read people really well. And yeah, you can just really kind of sense your way around life and making really good decisions for yourself. So I asked about career, and this was kind of like a mixed feelings as far as like your career, and maybe this is why you're asking about it too. This could have been your energies coming through this reading, not necessarily your guides talking, but I don't really think that they really wanted to give me a lot of information about this area, because what I got was they showed me a heart, like the shape of a heart, and it was kind of up high. So it's almost like you have to kind of like reach to get it, so, which is very symbolic. And then they showed me a face down heart as well, and it was kind of lower, like the heart was turned like kind of upside down and it was lowered. So it was really, really symbolic when I asked about it, but I really kind of got like this mixed feelings kind of edge about the possible career that you're in, and maybe just being unsure, and that you're kind of having to reach kind of high to be able to get to that place that you really want to be, that it might take some work to get there. And I also asked, is working for Mary Ellen and Tom a good fit? And I actually heard torn, and then they gave me a visual of eyes being surrounded by clouds. Now I remember from the Lenormand deck that clouds, you know, really kind of symbolize not able to see very clearly, like it's kind of foggy almost. So you're kind of not really able to see what's really happening around you very well. So it's hard to make those decisions when you don't really know what's all playing out around you. For animal totems, I got a moose, and that means primal feminine energies. And again, this is coming from, I looked up the meanings in Animal Speak with Ted Andrews. Primal feminine energies associates with water and intuition. The moose as a totem will find the contradictory feelings stirring within and in others around them. When the moose comes into your life, the great feminine force and void of life is being awakened. It is a invitation to learn and explore new depths of awareness and sensitivity within yourself and within your environment. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, all the energies I was really kind of picking up were very feminine, water, intuition. So I really kind of get this feeling that maybe perhaps this is something that you are interested in as well, and that like with intuition and developing your abilities, your possibly psychic abilities. And rabbit I have here is can show you how to recognize the signs. I got a rabbit as well, sorry, I got two different totem animals. The rabbit, I have just a little short blurb here, can show you how to recognize the signs around you to bring a more fertile life. So to kind of keep your eyes open for those different signs that the universe is trying to show you on the different signs. Yeah, for the direction that you might want to take to be able to be really happy and in your real authentic self. I'm going to do a second segment here because I'm not sure if I went a little bit too far. I'm not sure if YouTube will let me go over 10 minutes here. So I'm going to do part 2, and that'll be the tarot reading. Okay, see you in a minute.